Hello and welcome to Sensei podcast. This is Manos Brilakis discussing with leaders in the field of CTO and complex PCI. Sensei means teacher or master in Japanese. The goal of the Sensei podcast is to help you learn and improve in CTO and complex PCI so that you can become the best that you can be and offer your patients the best possible results. Hello everyone and welcome to Sensei podcast. It is my great pleasure to introduce our guest today, who is Dr. Yiannis Tsiafoutis, the director of the Cath Lab at the Red Cross Hospital in Athens, Greece. He's also the president of the Working Group of Interventional Cardiology for the Hellenic Society of Cardiology and one of the pioneers of CTO-PCI in Greece, and created a huge program that is treating a lot of patients in need in Athens and in Greece. So Yanni, it's a great pleasure to have you today with us. Thank you for taking the time.
Hi, Manos. Thank you for everything. And I'm really glad and it's an honor to participate in this series of podcasts. You know, you have done an amazing job, and I'm glad to meet you and participate as well.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Yanni. So let's maybe start from the beginning. I know you've been doing this for a long time, but tell me what made you get into the CTO complex, which I know is very hard in Greece and other countries as well. But you got into it and made it a huge impact. So, but what made you in the beginning get into this area?
Yeah, when we discussed about this podcast, I started thinking about what would you ask about this journey in this field. So I came back in my memory and I started thinking about myself. Since I was a young kid in the school, I was putting myself always in a challenge and trying to decide what is next step, what's going to be the most challenging or demanding thing to do and choose for my future. So that's why after school I went to medical school. I became a doctor, and after that I thought about what kind of doctor should I be, and I decided to be cardiologist. And after that I think, what's the next step? What's the next challenge? And I was amazed in the Cath Lab and said, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do PCIs. And after that, when I started doing PCIs, I saw guys doing this thing, and I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. That's how I chose this job, because really this is the path that drove me there.
So you always wanted to do the best and learn and do more things, but again, it was very hard, right? Because there was not really a established program. So how did you go for learning and doing these procedures?
Yeah, this is for sure. We were like in Greece, having guys like you coming from Greece and other pioneers in CTO-PCI like George Yiannis or Dimitri Karbaliotis, were great guys that they had much history in this field. So it was really familiar for us, but the environment and all the things in the public health in Greece were difficult with the crisis. So it was extremely difficult to start this program. But again, with my colleague, Michael Koutousis, in Red Cross Hospital, we decided to start this program. We learned case by case by each other. We learned by inviting great operators like Alexander Avran to proctor us and give us the tips for these cases, for these procedures. And we studied a lot. We had you with your abstracts, with your books, with your manuals of PCI and CTO-PCI that was very, very helpful for establishing a program like that. And we had the support as well from you after that, participating in your registry that gave us the motivation to be better and better all time.
No, and again, you did a phenomenal work, I think, given the limited resources. Now, this happens to other labs as well. People are saying, look, in my country or in my cath lab, we don't have equipment, we don't have the time, and I cannot think of anyone who is busier than you are. I mean, you're doing so many cases, acute coronary syndromes and other cases, but still, you were able to develop the program. So, how did you do that? Were you able to shorten the cases, or are you able to find specific time, work long hours after the afternoon? How were you able to find the time and the resources to do this?
Yeah, this is the way we tried to make our days bigger. We we had many hours after the proper program that we stayed in cath lab. Yeah, us, our fellows, our nurses, everyone in this cath lab found a way to support this program, and all these were behind us and on our side, and this is how we succeeded. It was an effort, a huge effort from many people, not just the first operators, but many people here helped us, supported us, and we had the vision to make this program, and we could do it real.
Perfect. And yeah, you're doing a phenomenal work on that. Now, how do you prepare for these cases? Are there any specific things that you do? Looking at the angiogram, looking with the team, how do you prepare for doing these complex cases, CTOs and otherwise?
Yeah, actually, as all of us, I think we go easily in a quiet office and our computer and see the angiogram. And the main thing is to know when to switch your strategy and what are your options in every case. What should you start and what should you do next step, and when things the easy thing is when everything goes well and you go straight away, but when things need a switch strategy, then you have to be prepared and to prepare for every switch and be prepared for complication as well. So you stay in your office calm and quiet, see the angiogram, maybe discuss with another high volume operator or experienced operator to sometimes to have another opinion, but you have to be very, very careful in every step.
And then, do you get nervous? Do you get anxious when you do these complex cases?
Yeah, it's our daily practice, so you don't have time. You don't have you really used in the first days, the first years. You were really anxious the day before, or you were waiting for a very difficult case, but now it's really a simple day in the work.
Perfect. So you're able to get over it. And then, are there any specific cases that you had over the years that have taught you a lot? Good cases or bad cases that help you learn and get better?
No, I think every case is a big lesson. That's what I'm telling to fellows. A case like that, a difficult CTO or a difficult complex PCI, if it's not CTO as well, it's like 100 PCIs of a normal of easy PCIs. It's the experience is tremendous. It's every case. I think of that is like doing hundreds of simple cases. So this is what get us better, as you have showed us many papers. This is what get us more specific and more valuable for our patients. This is what give us the complete revascularization. That is the thing that we're trying to succeed and achieve in our cath labs. So I think that every case of these is a very high, very high step in our experience. So I see many operators that, like Alexander, that he comes 2 years after, and he's really better than how he was 2 years before. That I thought that he cannot be better, but 2 years later he's more better. So this is the truth. I see. I think this happens with these cases. it's a very, very important school for us.
Perfect. And you're right. You're never perfect. There's always room to improve and get things
That's
better.
the point. That's the point.
But the beauty of this area, as we all know, is that no matter how good you are going to have some failures and you're going to have some complications.
Mhm.
How do you respond to those? Do you get depressed? Do you get obsessed? How do you deal when things don't go well?
Yeah, you really first you don't want to believe it. You see you see the image and you say, "Oh no, it's not happening." Yeah. After that, you don't have time. You don't have time to think. You have to act, and this is what made us better as well. This is the complications and all the list of complications that can happen. That when you do many cases, they all happen sometime, and you're ready. You have the algorithm in your mind to be prepared and to act because you don't have time. Not you, the patient has no time. So this is what you should do. Of course, you are depressed. And, there was one old physician, Greek, very famous, and he was one of the best doctors in Greece, that he had said the difficult thing for a doctor is after a bad complication is to believe again in his science, to believe again in his job. So sometimes you have to do a step back, see what happened, uh, see how we're going to be more safer next time, and go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, it's a learning experience. And actually, I must commend you because you have been publishing some of the complications you've had. Actually, I learned a lot reading your paper on this. I think you had a radial access hematoma that need to go to surgery.
Yeah.
And, I had not seen the images of how it looks. And this was actually a beautiful illustration. Helped me a lot learn about what can happen during radial.
Yeah, of course. You have to show our complications
Now,
because it's a lesson for all of us.
Now, how do you deal? Again, you're a high volume operator doing a lot of cases. You're doing also a lot of complex cases. So and the machines, I don't think they're the lowest radiation they can be. So how do you deal with the radiation dose? How do you minimize your exposure to radiation?
We don't have we're not lucky here to have these new devices, let's say devices that eliminate X-rays, radiology, and so we're trying to get the views to be less harmful, to get not so much cine, and to do more keeping from the how to say not film all the time. So we try
The senior fluoroscopy.
fluoroscopy, to keep the images from fluoroscopy more. We're not that enthusiastic that as we were in the beginning, that we're not thinking at all about radiation. Nowadays, we're getting older and we have many cases in our back, so we have to be very, very careful. Nowadays, I'm trying to get a protection device. I'm trying to convince my hospital to have a protection device for our machine, and I'm hoping in a few months it'll be here.
Perfect. And then Yanni, what was the most difficult thing for you to learn in terms of the CTO and complex area? Was it the wires, the mentals? What was the thing that you found the hardest one to learn?
No, I think the material and the wires and the catheters. This is all the even a not experienced guy or not a doctor could learn about that. I think the most difficult is to understand the vessel, and you have to have the philosophy of this job, to understand when to go on, to find where to change your strategy, to find when to stop. This is a very difficult because in the beginning I could not stop. I thought, oh, I have to finish. I have to open the artery. I have to go out and say that it's okay. Now, you have to know when to stop. This was, I think, the most difficult thing for me to put a stop in my procedure.
Perfect. And then you're right. That's all. I mean, that's something that we have seen in many meetings, that sometimes it's a very hard lesson to get. And some of the most established operators sometimes have a hard time with this, because it becomes also an issue of self, I guess, respect, that you feel, I don't want to fail. But again, as you said, the patient comes first. So that's a great skill to have. And I think we're all struggling on finding the balance there. Now, Yanni, you've trained so many people. You have the fellows in the cath lab. You trained other clinicians. I know in Greece you go around and you teach other people how to do these procedures. So you had a tremendous impact. How do you assess the people you teach? Can you tell when you walk in their cath lab or when they come to your cath lab that they're going to be good operators? Is it something that you cannot tell? How can you tell how good these people are going to be or not?
Yeah, no, I I used to say about the eye of the tiger. This is a motto that when you see a young fellow, that you can see in his eyes when when he see and he's amazed of the picture of the vessel and all the procedure, and he has a devotion to stay with you till late in the night and be there till after when you leave and the complication comes, to be late early in the morning, to be prepared, to have studied, to have studied the case, to have studied about the materials, to study about the wires, not coming and asking without have studied, with no study, with no yeah, you can understand who of these has the mentality, it has the will to go on with this very, very difficult and very demanding field of interventional cardiology. Yeah. In other hospitals, the physicians that call me to participate and like a proctor there to help them improve their skills, I think there are guys that are really improving and want to do cases by themselves. But there are also, I see colleagues that want to do some cases or see you doing cases, but they're not gonna follow this path. They're not gonna expand their skills to do by themselves such cases. So there are two categories of the people that I'm proctoring with them.
Perfect. And then, um, how many cases do you think it takes for someone to get good at doing this? Is there a specific number, or is more the quality of cases? How do you handle that, especially for the people who are now starting to do these cases more and more?
Okay, this is an easy answer. So I have to ask you, how many cases have you done? And I ask as well Alexander Avrar, how many cases, or Kabis, how many cases has done. So I think this is the answer. There's no limit. There's no upper limit. You're getting better and better, and this is the point. You're getting better and better, and you're getting as more experienced you are. So you're getting better and safer. This is the point, getting safer for your patients.
Perfect. So, Yanni, again, you are running a very busy cath lab in the middle of Athens. You're doing a lot of cases and working non-stop every day, all day. How do you keep fit? How do you exercise? How do you keep in good shape to be able to do everything?
Last years, I'm not in a good shape that it was some years ago, because I don't have time to play football as well. I was playing, so I'm trying to go to the gym with a personal exercise guy there helps me to have my good fitness as well, as long as I can, and some I'm trying to have some time to play tennis twice a week, and the family and going out. This is how psychologically I keep a balance to be better every day.
Perfect. And then, Do you have any favorite books or any favorite movie that have inspired you?
Yeah, there are many movies that have inspired. But I'm really, I love very much Godfather, but it has nothing to do with without talking. It's a fantastic movie. As I can see it many times. It has nothing to do, but you know, books are many books. Many guys don't know very well Greek authors, but there are many Greek authors that have very nice books that you get better. But a very famous one, Nikos Kazantzakis, is my favorite.
Perfect. Yeah, that's actually one of mine as well. A lot of, and I think also it fits to this pattern. He also always talks about how you get better, how you work harder, how you try to overcome things, which fits very well with this theme. So, Yanni, what are you most proud of? You've done so many things. You have been a catalyst in the area, in Greece and in Europe and beyond Europe. What are you most proud of, both personally as well as professionally, about what you've achieved so far?
Uh, Professionally, I think it's about. I'm proud of uh, I'm proud of all the patients that were go healthy with good health back in their families, and maybe sometime they can discuss about the doctor that helped them. And this is I really am proud of that. And it's the reason that I became a doctor, and this is the point for all of us. Uh, in the other hand, I'm proud of all fellows and all doctors that I gave them the opportunity to learn this difficult job and get better beside me, and maybe they're gonna be better than me in the future or even now. So professionally, this is the things that I'm proud of. You have to respect time as well. We're getting older, and younger guys are coming back, are coming behind us, and they're going to be better, and we have to help them. This is the thing that I'm really proud of. In my personal life, first of all, I'm proud of my son, that he's a very good guy, great guy, and I'm proud for the love of my family and all the love of my wife, and think that I made my family proud of me, and I'm proud of the love in general of my friends and family.
How old is your son?
He is 13 in a few days.
Okay, well, congratulations. So, are you going to push him to become a doctor too, a cardiologist, or?
I don't want to push no one. So he's gonna choose his profession. He's very cute. He's very smart. He has all the opportunity. Let's hope he's gonna be well and try to find out what fits him better to be happy in his life and useful for other people.
Wonderful. And then, what do you plan to do in the future? What are the things that you are excited about for the future?
You know, professionally, I don't have many things to wait. Just to find new techniques, to expand our skills, to have new fellows to help them get better. But uh, personally, I hope to be good health and see all my beloved people around me being well as well, and getting older together. This is the thing I'm hoping for, and let's hope it's gonna be a better world for all of us, because you see all this climate change and whatever. It's very obvious that planet is really messed, and you have to be careful and maybe prepared for some difficult things to deal with.
Perfect. And actually, you're right. I think it's actually fascinating to see that despite everything else, you have a sensitivity for things beyond the cath lab and cardiology, and which is very refreshing for all of us. Now, in terms of career, are you planning to retire at any point, or you could be working forever?
I can work forever if I'm in an island. We have fantastic islands in Greece with fantastic sea, so you know very well. So let's go together to a small island, and we can have there with maybe with a 5G operator, robotic PCI to do from under in a sunny beach together to do PCIs. And no, I'm not gonna work forever. I hope will come the time to be out of that club.
Well, you never know. You're right. If the robotic PCI takes off, you might be able to do this for a long, long time. Yeah, but again, let's hope, as you say, that there's some limits to doing that. So Yanni, how about balancing the time? Because I know for many CTO operators who are very busy, this becomes an issue. How are you able to balance your time and spend time with the family as well, and other people, and social and relationships and friends, and at the same time, do all the work that you do for the many patients you treat?
Yeah, there's not much time. The truth is that we're spending so much time in our work. Every one of us, we have to deal with the PCIs, we have to deal with the congresses and the meetings, we have to deal with traveling. We have the vacation time, or the weekends sometimes that are never enough. So, the good thing is here that we have fine weather in Greece that is many months. So you have to choose some days, and I'm trying to have as long as I can, because I have to stop radiation exposure as well. So this is the point. I'm waiting for the retirement. You just
How many hours do you sleep every night?
That's not about 6 or 7.
Okay, and then how do you, apart from the clinical work, as I told before, you do these publications, and you've been one of the main contributors to Progress CTO, and we thank you very much for that as well. So when does this happen? I mean, again, you're cathing all day, you're doing work on nights and weekends, you don't sleep very much. So how are you able to do the research, and how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, there's no balance. As you described, I don't see balance in that. So it's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard. And every September that I come back to work, I keep thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna be in again, and it starts again. But in a few days, you're in a row and you're going on. So if the truth is that I think as well, you as well, and all the operators that do this job, you cannot do this job without loving it, without being a big part of your life. So you cannot do it in another way. This is the way we do it. That's why it's our life.
Perfect. So Yanni, again, you've done many things, and you've trained many people. If you had to give some advice to the young operators, those who are fellows or early stage of their career, about how to improve and get better operators and potentially do CTO or complex intervention, what would be your major recommendations?
Yeah, I think the recommendation is to keep their dreams, chase their dreams.
Thank you for listening to the Sensei podcast.
Be there. The only opponent you have is yourself. You have to be better, getting better from yourself. This is the opponent, no one else. Yourself is the problem, or yourself is the solution. So this is the thing that I always say to my young fellows in my clinic. This is the thing that every day I'm trying to show them that I'm staying there. No rush to leave. I'm staying there with the patient. I'm there with the case. I'm there with the publication. I'm there in my clinic, and this is the way to succeed if you love what you do. There's no other way.
So go the extra mile, as you were saying before. Try to prepare, come prepared, put the extra effort, come early, stay late, and put in the work it takes. I guess there's no magic solution, right? In the end, you do have to do the work, and it's going to take time and effort and energy involved in doing that. And one last thing, so this is very useful. One last thing, you've been very involved in the society and in education as well. And you're organizing meetings, both webinars in person, which have been very useful. How did that come for you? Did it come naturally? Did you always interested in education, or it gradually grew over time? How did you decide to go in that area as well, on top of everything else?
Yeah, it comes naturally, because when you other guys teach you, and you see you're getting from their experience and you're getting better. This is what we have to do: is to give all our experience to younger and to those who come behind us. So that's what you should do. If you are a good doctor, you should be very good for your patients, but you should be very didactic. You should be very you have to teach the other doctors, the new doctors. You have to give your experience. You know, when I go proctoring for every hospital, from every guy I meet, I get things. This is the point. You get things, and you're getting better in every way, and in every doctor, in every that comes near you, and you see his skills, you see his hands, you see his thought. So you're getting better in everyday practice. This is a big part of it, is to give your experience to others.
Wonderful. Well, Yanni, on that note, again, continuous improvement is indeed the key for this and for every other game anyway. But I would like to thank you once again for spending the time today and going over your experience and your teachings, your clinical research work. Thank you again so much for the Progress CTO, done phenomenal work on that, for all the teaching and the cases that you do. And again, we're super excited and looking forward to keep on working with you.
Thank you, Manos. I want to thank you again, and in a public way, that you gave me the opportunity to participate in this Progress CTO registry, to give our data to the whole world through your papers. You're a fantastic guy with all this work that you have done. It's really amazing that I hear you talking about me. I think I don't have words. I want just to thank you and to tell everyone that you are really a wonderful guy. Thank you very much once again.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Yanni. Thank you for listening to the Sensei podcast.